$19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
It's basketball season, and Salt Mine City is your pregame and postgame headquarters in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Get ready for the game with their big, fatty 7-ounce hamburger, or try a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, your basketball headquarters, now open at 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings, thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. 93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see increasing clouds throughout the day. It'll be windy. An afternoon high around 40. Tonight, a slight chance of snow. Otherwise, mainly cloudy skies, a low around 25. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies and light winds. An afternoon high near 50. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in to Be a Beacon with Lighthouse on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Bill Mitchner.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome.
Happy Wednesday.
Another beautiful Wednesday. Sorry we weren't here. Harrison, thank you for carrying on last week without us.
Absolutely.
We had a very, very important thing that we were doing. It was our annual board dinner. So for us, that's a special time for our board members to get to know the kids, sit down, have dinner with them. It really is a special time. I know it's probably one of the favorite times for our board because it's one-on-one interactions. And one board member at the table, usually 4 or 5 other kids, having some really good meals that the board actually provides and then serves to the young people too. So it's like a full circle.
Yeah, it's like a real family,
So I appreciate you doing that for us. And Drew was under the weather and
dealing with a migraine back then.
He's now back. And we have a guest tonight that lots of people know. We've had him on several times. He's also a board member.
Yes, I am.
Jay Pitts.
Good evening.
How you doing?
A radio voice.
So what are we doing tonight? Harrison, what was your favorite part of last week?
Oh, man. Favorite part of last week.
It better be the show. I mean,
yeah.
I see how I set him up and nothing.
I mean, it was obviously the show. It was incredible.
Nothing
I love repping Lighthouse every week. No seriousness. It's easy. I know that I can take over for that hour. It's not a hard thing to talk about an organization like Lighthouse who's just doing good things in every corner of where they interact with. So, I mean, I had plenty of content to just praise Lighthouse. And I'm not just saying that to be biased. I mean, if you don't believe me, just go check out their website. Go show up to Lighthouse yourself. I know you guys are going to have the Christmas giveaway where you get the $125. You can go check that out and see the smiles on those kids' faces. So, yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic organization. It's easy for me, even just solo. And shout out Nick Wyben, who's with me, to speak proudly on Lighthouse for what they do.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I think Harrison texted me and he said this was the first show that is 10 out of 10. I think he texted me.
There was. Just because I wasn't there, Harrison. Okay, cool.
So before we get to Jay, let's talk a little bit about the Christmas shopping, because that is next week. And Foreman was just asking me how we're doing on that. Well, we're doing pretty good. We still got some ways to go. So if people want to help, that's $125 a kid. They can get on our website. We want to make for sure that we're taking care of the young people during this time. It's a tough time. So next Tuesday, we're going to get them out there 4:45, 5 o'clock, have them start shopping. It's a fun event.
It's always well organized too. You kind of think you have, 80 some kids in Walmart, is going to be chaos and people are going to be bouncing off the walls. You're going to have to keep them all wrangled in. But honestly, it doesn't really get chaotic at all. It gets just fun and it's really cool.
I had one of the kids ask me tonight, do you rent out all of Walmart? And I said, no. And she goes, there are strangers there?
Yeah, always.
So it was just funny that, their perception is, what are we doing there? And it'll be their first opportunity to go with us. And I know that they're going to have a ball with the student athletes and the board members and other friends that have chosen to give every year and be a part of this, because again, it is one of the coolest things that we do. Achievement night is right up there with us too.
It's one of those events that kind of sticks with every staff member, every kid, every parent throughout the whole year, and the board members too. Like, Jay, do you have a memory from the shopping trip that kind of sticks out to you?
I think every year that I've participated, it's always neat to walk around with youth and I think initially, when they get that gift card, they think about themselves. But I think as they progress through the store, you can see a change in a lot of them, and they want to buy things for their family, which I think is really cool. Is they've got this money, and they're shopping for their mom, their dad, or their little brother. They want some kind of thing, and that's really cool. So
there's always that moment where you see them walk past something that they know a sibling likes, and they're like, oh, my brother would like that. If I had enough money, I do have enough money for it. And
exactly.
They do it. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is wild. And again, it's something that is special for the staff that interact with the kids every day. And we just continue to love doing it, and we're going to continue to do it. And thankful to Jason Peters and heading that up and making for sure that we reach our goal every year, and for all the people that have chosen to give.
And also thank you to Walmart for letting us do it there, because it could be chaos. They're letting a bunch of kids come, but they're trusting us, and they know that just because the years before it's been nice and smooth.
We have 2 bigger donors too. Slim Chickens.
Yep.
Stacy and Bill Hooks provides the food for that for the kids. And then we also have Elite Party buses that provide the buses for our kids to be able to be transported out there. So
always really fun event. Now, what role have you kind of played in the events in the past, Jason? You've been kind of just walking with the kids. You've been just kind of hanging out there, or how's it going for you in the past?
Yeah, I just like to participate. Yeah, usually I'm teamed up with one or two youth and just walk. Typically what I do is I have my calculator out so that we can guesstimate, how much they have left on their card.
They forget about tax.
They do all forget about tax. Yeah. Tax is something that they don't know about a lot, because I don't know if they've shopped a lot, but, but even if they're over, most board members, I think, that are there, you know what, I'm covering it.
Even the student athletes now.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've seen student athletes pick up their whole tab so they can keep the gift card.
The student athletes make more money than me. So
I think they make more than all of us.
They
I
do.
mean, come on. I mean, we could put us all together and still they're making more.
They can cover it. So
millionaire teenagers. It's
exactly.
crazy.
Yeah.
But we did talk a little bit about that last show, not last week, but the week before, on the student athletes getting a real hard time in this NIL. And what we've seen is a lot of them doing a lot of good work in the community with that money too. So, I want to continue to give that shout out, because I don't want people to think that they're spoiled kids now and get out of here. This has been a conscious choice to make, to pay student athletes now. That's where we're at. And it's cool to see them now giving it forward too.
Absolutely. They get back to the community 100%. Yes.
And Jay, you've been in law enforcement now for 25 years. Why is an event like this, the shopping event, like why is that important to kind of the community in the law enforcement aspect of like keeping kids in a safe spot and showing them that people are like caring about them? How important is that in the law enforcement realm?
That's everything. I had a discussion actually at the dinner the other night with the group of kids that were at the table with me, and they were asking me, what's the what do you like about law enforcement? I said, I like being that person that changes the narrative. I think a lot of people think of law enforcement officers in some certain way, but I'm always trying to buck that and show them that, hey, look, I'm just a regular person. I'm a human being just like you. I'm going to treat you with dignity and respect. And, I'm just doing it a different way. I like to get to know people. I think that as my career has progressed, you go from, being that, you get to those hot calls and I'm going to take care of this thing. And after, years of being on the streets and working calls, you get to a point where you're like, why are you in the spot? And you really want to get to talk to them, and show them, hey, look, I really want to help you out. I'm trying to help you. I'll open up to you, you open up to me, and I'm going to find something that's going to work for you, whatever situation you're in. So
Jay, I've known you a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I've known a lot of officers a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like about you is you have I've never formally trained you in restorative practices.
No.
Yet you are a restorative human being.
Absolutely.
And it's a part of who you are. And that's what I appreciate about you, is that you do that intuitively. And if you do want training, I know a guy. But in the reality of it, though, I really do appreciate that about you, because my son's going to go into law enforcement and he sees through those lenses as well,
mm-hmm.
because that's who we are as people. That's how he's raised, is through the restorative lenses. So I just want to mention that, because I think that's an important piece, that as a human being that's in law enforcement, looking through restorative lenses first, I think changes how you're interacting and how those outcomes
100%. Yeah. Like I said, I would say I'm a seasoned guy. There's not many situations that I haven't had to deal with. But,
I do see a little salt and pepper going on. So you are seasoned.
It's a lot of salt and very little pepper at this point. So, but no, I mean, I think that it happens to a lot of people in law enforcement. I mean, I think you really want to get to, why are you at this place in your life? And everybody's got a story. Everybody's got something going on that you don't know about. And you have to be aware of that, when you're contacting people. You can't just assume and just be, kind of a tyrant person. You just have to be there and just talk to them.
I kind of think a lot of like law enforcement's rap is people kind of put them on like a reaction thing, but like what you're talking about is a lot of prevention,
right?
Like being proactive. That's what we talk about with restorative, is being there before the actual thing happens. Mm-hmm. Like you said, like
when you're responding, you're responding, not reacting.
Yeah, right. Responding.
Yeah, which is an important piece. And I do want to talk a little bit on that, though, because I somewhat agree with you. I think many law enforcement professionals go into this wanting to know the why behind it and wanting to have the good career and to do better. The problem is, just like any other career, there's a lot, and so a lot of them don't want to know, that they're just going through the motions. And I would love to figure out a way to help them find the inspiration to do the job at that level again. You know what I mean?
I do. And you know what? I think everybody in law enforcement will go through some sort of burnout. And I've always talked about that too. Mental health of law enforcement officers is a real deal too. I mean,
absolutely.
sometimes we need mental health days just to, to get through situations. I mean, we see things that, most people in their life, you'll never have to work any calls like we see. And these are, they're traumatic and very devastating things that you see. And how do you get through that? There are some resources out there. I know that, nationally, I was talking to one of my cousins in Arizona, and they've got actually specialized mental health care facilities specifically for first responders, because we do see different things.
Absolutely.
And it affects everybody differently. And if somebody says it doesn't affect them, I wouldn't believe them, because everything that I've been a part of, it affects you. It wears on you a little bit. Once you've seen, 3 or 4 bad things, does it get easier to deal with them? Well, it's a call, and you work it as that. You work it as such. But there's always something that's, it's gonna wear on your mind after a while.
Is it kind of like a balancing act though? Because you want to be able to like see those things and like move on and keep going, but also at the same point, you don't really want to get numb to it, because it's still a bad thing. So is it kind of balancing that?
I see where you see. Yeah, it would be kind of a balancing act, I guess. It's just you need to you got to have good resources around you, good resources available to you. You have to talk too. You can't just compartmentalize everything and just not and just keep it inside. And it's tough for cops to open up. And I will admit to myself that I'm like that sometimes. I don't want to talk about it for a while, because it's fresh in my mind, and I have to.
You haven't worked through it yourself.
I do. I have to just process everything, and then when I'm ready to talk about it, so that I can try to just work through this issue. Yeah.
And you're a very caring person, so I can also see you probably not wanting to put that on somebody else. You know what I mean? I'm not going to send my bad vibes to them, but at the same time, you have to.
And I think it's part of the human nature when it comes to counseling, that I'm not broken, I don't want to go to a counselor.
Yeah.
And to speak on what you were talking about, the guys that are stuffing it or the ladies that are stuffing it, I always say, because I come from the counseling background, and I would always say to people, it's like having a messy home, and instead of dealing with something, you're going to brush it under the rug. And then after a while, the rug has this huge mound that you start tripping over. So if you don't deal with it, if you don't really clean it up, you're going to start tripping over it. It's going to start affecting you in other parts of your life. So how do you take care of that?
Yeah, I like that analogy.
One big thing that I've kind of noticed, especially with you, Jay, is representation. We have a young student right now at Lighthouse. He was Youth of the Month, and he on his what do you want to be when you grow up, he said a police officer. And like that's just not a thing that a lot of young black men say these days. And as someone who's a black man in this world, how important is to be able to be that representative of, like, I don't want to say you're representing a community, but like a lot of people are looking up to you as the black officer here that's coming to the room, coming to the situation. And these kids, they see that and they're coming with a negative connotation about it, but then they see you come in and they can kind of twist that. Does that?
Yeah. And my father was a police officer here for 39 years. So, highly respected in the community. For me, I idolize my dad. That's who I wanted to be like, cause he was, in the community and involved in the community. I get kids that I grew up with still coming up to me saying, "Hey man, I remember your dad came to Whittier and he did that, kung fu stuff, karate and all this stuff. And man, he was so cool. I still remember that." Those are the impactful things that he did, and those kids still remember that. They still talk about that. So, but yeah, for me, there aren't a lot of African American law enforcement officers around here. There's not a lot of African Americans that get into law enforcement. I love it. I love being in this position. I love representing everybody in the community. But I do, I'd be, dumb not to say that. Yeah, there's only a couple of us, and there's only a few of us doing it. But that's awesome that this youth wants to be a police officer. So obviously, I would love to meet him.
Yep.
And I would love to sit down and talk to him. So,
well, and here's the thing. I was just going to mention that we have a saying at Lighthouse: you can't be what you can't see.
Absolutely.
So that's an important piece, is that have people that look like them in these professions to say, I can be that. And that's what's important to us, is to make sure that we're doing that.
Especially having like a dad doing it. Because I mean, say what you will about role models and mentors, but like having your dad be that role model. I know for me, like I want to be like my dad every single day of the week. Mm-hmm. So like just being able to look at that and be like, hey, this is a police officer. I don't even have to have that negative connotation because I know it's my dad.
Right.
Like that's just so heavy and so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So before because we're getting close to the, end of our first segment, and, there's something big happening this next year.
Oh, what's that?
I mean, what's Jay doing on the horizon?
I was asked by numerous people in the community to put my name in the hat to be Lancaster County Sheriff 2026.
Hey,
so running for sheriff second time. Yeah.
So I figured, we should, make for sure that we're talking about that, since you're talking about law enforcement, but that's what you do right now, yes. And that's a big thing. So why would you want to take something that big on?
For my community, for people that support me. It was obviously, I ran the last time, and we didn't achieve, but
you did pretty good though for a first timer.
For a first time guy, I have zero political experience whatsoever. I still say that I don't really have any political experience, but I understand that this is a political position, only because you have to choose, a party
because you're elected.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but is the position actually itself political? No, it's law enforcement. So
yeah, I would hope it'd be bipartisan, because you're dealing with literally every type of human being.
Absolutely. Yes. So, but there was a lot of elected people that I had gotten to know, specifically Senator George Duggan, and I really hit it off running last time together, having the same group of people manage us. But, he had talked to me early on in the summer, saying, hey, you need to run again.
Might be another guy that was whispering in your ear all the time.
There's always that guy that's 2 seats to the left of me who wants me to do that. But that makes me feel good.
Whisper?
Yeah,
I've never heard Bill whisper.
That's partially I yell from the rooftop, but it's because I see you, and I think you represent my kids. And again, when I hear my son, when we brought him in here and he was talking about going into law enforcement, he was talking about doing community policing,
community-based policing.
People where they're at. Absolutely. Rather than coming in hot and thinking what's going on. And I'm like, man, that's what I'm talking about, and that's absolutely what he's learning with the people around him. And you've been in part of our lives for a long time, and you're definitely one of the biggest influences on that. So
that's cool.
So after this next break, we're going to get into a little bit more detail about kind of your thoughts and feelings behind it.
Cool. Sounds good.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
This holiday season, give the gift of good taste with a gift card from Valentino's. During double discount days, double your discount from $5 to $10 free with a $50 gift card purchase. Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a family favorite for generations, and our gift cards make the perfect holiday gift. And right now, during gift card double discount days, when you buy $50 in gift cards, get a $10 gift card free. Happy holidays from Valentino's.
Here at Midwest Bank, we want to thank all the generous donors who helped us make our 2025 turkey dinner for schools a success. Thanks to the generosity, we raised enough money to provide 191 families across 6 different schools in Lincoln with a full Thanksgiving meal. With your support, we've made Thanksgiving Day for these families a little brighter. We want to wish everyone a healthy and happy Thanksgiving. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. Basement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
It's basketball season, and Salt Mine City is your pregame and postgame headquarters in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Get ready for the game with their big, fatty 7-ounce hamburger or try a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, your basketball headquarters, now open at 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Hey guys, it's Carly from Boyd Farm Outfitters. Farmers, the Nebraska Ag Expo is coming up on December 9th through 11th at the Sandhills Global Event Center, and we'd love to see you there. Our team will be in 2 places at once, in the Boyd Farm Outfitters booth and the Green Eye Technology booth, which are both in the Currency building. In the meantime, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and X at BoydFO to see what we've been working on. Again, that's BOECKFO on social media. We look forward to seeing you at the Expo.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Ready, set, Ford just announced 0% for 66 months with approved credit on all 2025 Ford F-150s at Zollner, Fort Beatrice. Save thousands in finance charges. If your current pickup loan's 4, 5, 6% or more, trade in today and receive 0% for up to 66 months on a brand new 2025 Ford F-150 of your choice at Zollner, Fort Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
Now back to Be a Beacon with Lighthouse on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, welcome back. You know, during breaks, we always talk a little bit about sports. We don't really usually get it too much into business about Lighthouse or anything like that. So thanks for the sports. And Harrison's going to do an on-air announcement if what I was talking about comes true. Isn't that right, Harrison?
Yeah, absolutely. Predicting some sports over here.
All right. Drew, what do you think?
I guess my biggest question with Jay, though, always comes back to just how it is to be a police officer in the city and what community policing is all about. Because I'm big on that. I think last time we were here, we talked about Officer Tommy Norman and what he does down in Arkansas. And I just think it's super important for the officers to be in the community and be in front of the kids. And that's one thing that Jay does really well is he comes to Lighthouse and comes to all the events. Do you have a moment that you kind of sit back on, or maybe a student that you kind of remember that's like, this is a good, I don't know, representation of what Lighthouse actually does?
There's probably too many. Most of those kids that come through there, the way you guys get them, the family atmosphere that you guys have, the love, the staff members truly love these kids. There's probably not a lot of these kids that once you guys get them in the program that they're not going to be successful. But recently, just at the dinner the other night, I was talking to youth at the table, and I didn't know anything about him. I talked to Michelle about him, and she said this, kid's had a pretty rough past, and I'm like, I would have no idea that was in his past, because this kid really was sharp, and we had a conversation for about 15 minutes, a very good conversation. And I told him, you know what? I said, you've got your head on your shoulders, right? I said, you're going to do good things, and we talked about schooling. He's going to graduate early. He's really focused. I mean, he's got goals, and we talked about college or post secondary education, and he's like to the workforce. I said, that's awesome. He says, I want to do trades. I'm like, that is great. I said, I loved it because he was and he told me at the end of the conversation he appreciated talking, because I told him, I said, look, sometimes schoolwork isn't for everybody. You have to take your own path, and if that's what you want to do, is you want to work with your hands, you want to do whatever you want to do. I said, you can, get an apprenticeship with somebody and learn, and, you'll be in the workforce and you'll be making a lot more money than me in about 2 years.
That's why options are important.
It is.
And why we're so successful and why you're so successful at talking to the kids is because we see them, and we're asking questions, and we're truly interested in knowing the answers to them. And it's not just side talk.
Yeah. Right.
How's your day? Yeah. Good.
Right. Yeah. Like
it's not like that.
Surface level. Yeah.
It's really like, whoa, I'm seeing that you're not looking like you normally do. Like, I usually greet you, you're smiling differently. Is everything okay today? And then they open up,
absolutely,
start crying or whatever's going on. And it's wild to see the difference of what we do compared to other places. And again, I get to travel the world on accreditation reviews and get to watch other staff and how things go. And I know that Lighthouse is very blessed when it comes to that, because again, every staff person and every board member truly cares about the kids that we serve.
Well, you guys get that response because you've earned their trust and you've earned their respect, and that's why they open up to you guys. And that's I mean, that truly is what it comes down to.
And you're not wrong. And the reason why somebody like you can come in and talk to them is because they know you're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
That you're a safe person.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They know that.
Yeah.
And it says something when the staff vouches for somebody, the kids automatically like, okay, they're cool, then they're cool. But if we don't know them or whatever, they're kind of
they'll standoffish. Yeah.
Now, one thing I also wanted to know kind of was you talked about the burnout a little bit, and I'm not saying this is what happened with you, but you stepped away from law enforcement for a little bit, and you've done something that I've done. You've sold cars, you've sold insurance. So how important is it to have that, like, the wide range of things you've done while also still coming back to law enforcement?
It can make you a more well-rounded person. There's a lot of things that I learned selling cars that I can put into my law enforcement, the way I build myself as a law enforcement officer. The biggest thing was, I would see guys around me, and we called it qualifying people. You just look at them, and based on the way they look, they would pass on these people. And you can't do that because you might miss out on a sale. And that happened a lot of times.
Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Exactly
It's the same thing. Exactly. You can't judge a book by its cover. Honestly, you don't know who's actually just dressing down. That's why you just have to treat everybody the same. You go out and talk to them. And my approach was very simple. Hi, I'm Jay. I'm here. If you need me, all the vehicles are open. If you have any questions, you come inside and you get me. Yeah. I wanted to leave them alone, and if they had questions, they come get me. I'd answer their questions. And every customer was different. I mean, you had people that were,
hold my hand.
that you had people that wanted you to pretty much work the cell phone, but you had people that were technical and they wanted to know the inner workings of the engines and things like that. So it almost made you. I told people it's like you're a chameleon. You have to kind of change your sales style to what you're presented with this individual that's in front of you that wants to buy a car. So you have to kind of mold yourself to what they're after. But car sales. Like I said, going into police work, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You don't judge people. I don't judge anybody because I've been judged in the past based really on one thing. And that I know what it feels like, so I don't want to judge anybody. But selling cars won me a national award from American Honda, and I was one of the top 30 salespeople in the nation. In the nation, and then I left and went to the sheriff's office. Got my award and said thanks.
That's all I wanted.
I wanted to prove a point. I proved it, that I could sell cars at the highest level and treat people. And that was what it was for, is customer satisfaction. I don't remember what my CSI number was, the customer satisfaction index number was, but it was 99 point something. And it was the highest they had ever seen in that zone. You know, maybe the greatest ever, as somebody might say. Right? It was
The
the best.
GOAT.
You did.
Well, I mean, the chameleon stuff, you have to do that too back in, like you said, in police work.
In
Because you can't just
exactly.
go in as yourself every time. You got to go in what the situation kind of needs.
Right. You have to assess, you know, and kind of, you know, it's a quick process. I mean, you're gonna learn a lot from somebody within the first couple seconds you meet them, and you're gonna probably know how you're gonna have to deal with them, what kind of style you're gonna have to deal with them. And you know, and good police officers can do that.
Yeah, and I think the listening is a big part too, because like
for sure.
with car sales, you have to listen to what they're wanting, and in police work,
Body
I'm sure it's
language,
just like
everything, yeah.
observing everything and just people trying to those businesses are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be honest with you, we can go on and on about law enforcement and how many different professions can lead into law enforcement and give you different skills that would help you with that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what kind of keeps you passionate about that, like public service? Is it kind of leaning back on your dad, like you said, or is it just the community?
Well, it's the community. I really feel good, being the protector of the community is like what I like to call myself. But I have a lot of people, in the community that they like the way I do things. They like my character. They like my personality, which I think is really big in law enforcement, and also in the sheriff run. Personality and character, those are things, and I talked about that in my kickoff. Those are the intangibles. Those are the things you can't buy. Either you have, charisma, or I guess they call it Riz. You have Riz, you have a good personality, you have character, you have something about you that resonates with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people say is your personality is just perfect. You tick all the boxes to be sheriff. Somebody that carries himself like you, your character, your integrity,
Like
that's what we want. Exactly.
Yeah.
Likability. Exactly.
They do
You're a
that
very
whole,
likable person. So
you do that whole I want to have a beer with him type politician stuff. But at the same time, now with the sheriff, I'm just like you want to be able to hang out and be able to do. Like,
people want to be around him.
Yeah, he's a real
which is
person.
cool. Yeah.
So when you were doing the kickoff, you said that you're not a politician.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what does that actually mean to you when it comes down to it? Because I know there's the party lines, but being the sheriff, there's not. You're obviously not arresting just the party members, but it's. How do you differentiate? How do you get the politics out of that when you get in the office?
I would, for me, the politics, I don't really get involved in a lot of the big political things, maybe on a national level.
Yeah.
We have a president, and that's, he does his thing. Am I going to be really vocal about most things? No, I'm just not. I mean, I live my life the way I know that I need to live it. I don't do anything. I always tell my son, I said, just these are some things that I've always followed. Think before you act. Really think. I said, and don't do anything dumb to get you on the news, because that'll embarrass you. It'll embarrass your family. And that's what I told him. That's the only thing. And you know what? My son he's been great. He's a good kid. A little sloppy, but. He's living that. He doesn't do anything that's going to get him in trouble. And I like that because, he's a good kid.
Yeah.
He is.
That's one of the things we talk about at Lighthouse with our kids when we go out on trips is like, you guys aren't just representing yourself. You're representing Lighthouse. You're representing us staff members, and you're representing your parents right now. So like, do you want to be acting a fool and have everybody think that Lighthouse is fools and your parents are fools? And the kids understand.
They respond to it because you ask people that see my kids in public and they think, man, your kids at Lighthouse are amazing.
Manners, respect, well-behaved. Yeah.
I run a program at Dawes, and we had to do a thing in the hallways. And I was like, guys, if you're in the hallway and you're acting wild and hitting doors and lockers, who do you think it looks bad on? They said, oh, Drew, we got your back. We're not going to make you look bad. And I was like, that's the greatest thing ever.
Right. Because we care. And so because we care, we have a connection to them and they don't want to let us down.
Yeah.
And that sounds a little twisted, but that's important. Because if they don't have a connection with somebody, then they're going to just do whatever they want.
I was talking with Brandon about it a few days ago. It's like sometimes a consequence doesn't need to be an actual physical, you're taking something, it's the fact that like, if he's worried about my opinion of what happens to him, that is a big enough consequence for the kid than taking away their phone or whatever. Like if you know that dad is disappointed in your decision, sometimes you don't even need to do a grounding. You don't even need to do a consequence because you know that they're in the room upset about it.
And we talk about that in restorative as shame.
Yeah.
And so shame is very useful. It's also very detrimental if you use shame, like you shame somebody. But shame is something that connects right from wrong in people's mind, right? And it connects them like, oh, I didn't want to hurt your feeling. And that's when our kids come back to us when they make a mistake, a poor choice at Lighthouse, get kicked out. When they come back, their head is down. And so we have a conversation with them and say, whoa, hold on, what's going on? Just let's talk about what happened. Let's talk about the expectations, and then how can you do it differently next time? And then we move on, and then all of a sudden they're perked up again. And that's what it's about, is helping them realize how to get through that, not hurt them with it.
Yeah. It's a healthy shame.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Jake, I kind of get back to the campaign a little bit, because one of your platforms that you were talking about was grooming standards and changing that up a little bit. And that's kind of back what we talked about with the kids, is like being comfortable. And one of our young men here, like the kid who was talking about being a cop, he has dreads, and like he's kind of worried about that kind of stuff. And he's worried just about lots of things that are in the way of him being a police officer,
or being a real person,
a real person, and just like let himself be himself still. Are there things in your platform that are kind of dealing with that?
Yeah, I like to think of myself as a lot more progressive. I don't believe that the paramilitary style of the 1980s LAPD model have any place in law enforcement right now. And unfortunately, there are agencies that are still running that way. They have grooming standards. They want you to look military. For me, you know what? You should look like a member of the community.
Yeah.
If you have a beard, there's no problem with that. There's lots of people in the community that have beards, dreadlocks, that's fine. You have to be you. We're all individuals. I mean, we're on the same team, but I don't want to take that individual personality away from somebody, because everybody's personality is different. And you know what? Sometimes out on the road, when you you contact people and you have all these calls for service, sometimes, somebody that identifies with somebody else, I mean, that's the rapport right there. And then you can build some trust on that, and it makes it easier for, you to work through these calls. But grooming standards are, those things are outdated. That's like 20th century. We need to get into the 21st century.
So I was reading about it, and it was like a lot of the law enforcement want, former military in it. And a lot of former military, they're getting tattoos in the military, and they're having their beards when they grow up because they want to grow it out now because they're not in the military. And I felt like that was like, if you want the good officers, you got to let them be them.
And that's progression. I mean, generationally, some people still think tattoos are bad. I don't care about tattoos. Tattoos actually are icebreakers for people. It's a way that people communicate now. And like you said, Drew, the military is letting you have tattoos now. But I can tell you this, the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office, no. And that's because
cover them up.
That's because of one person. And I tell people, the person at the top of any organization, business or whatever, they set the tone for everybody. So that's the tone they set. And that tone is so outdated. It needs to be modernized. It just needs to be.
Even back in the day, special forces would get tattoos in the military. And so it's just a part of telling stories.
Exactly. It doesn't mean anything. But that's the mentality. Is the old school mentality is tattoos are bad. They're unprofessional. I could care less. I mean, is it going to affect the way you do your job?
Did you
get the job done?
Exactly.
Did they like the way you did your work? Yeah. Did they say anything about your tattoos? No. Yeah. Of course they didn't, because tattoos are commonplace. It's not a big deal.
Yep.
And it's made more of a big deal by, like I said, ideas and thoughts are outdated sometimes by leadership that have been, probably they're well past their expiration.
It's a results driven industry, and how you get there shouldn't really matter
sometimes. That's exactly right.
Right. And you're going to miss out on candidates too.
That's
the biggest thing.
Right. Well, we have one more segment, so we're finishing this last one up here in a few minutes, and we're going to take this to our sponsors.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and it's that time of the year again. Time for the annual Happy Honda Days at Honda of Lincoln. With me on the line, Andy Goodyear, to tell us all about it.
The exciting news is we have more selection and more savings. We have over 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from, with a great opportunity to get year-end savings remaining new 2025.
Do you have some Happy Honda Day specials?
Sure do, Charlie. For example, you can lease a new 2025 Accord Sport Hybrid for just $349 a month, and we have financing from just 0% APR. We've also included over 125 pre-owned of all makes and models, and as always, our certified pre-owns are in this sale as well.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
There's only one place this holiday season to shop for the sports fan in your life and get cash back for slightly used sports items you don't need anymore. Play It Again Sports. Check out their selection of new and used items, including home fitness equipment like treadmills, exercise bikes, and ellipticals, and get your lift on with free weights, benches, and racks to add to your home gym. And don't forget, if you have anything slightly used to trade in, they'll give you instant cash. Holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Are you ready to make a difference this holiday season? Schwiezo Construction and TMCO are hosting a diaper drive December 5th through the 19th. They're collecting diapers, pull-ups, and wipes to benefit TMCO Prep Academy, the Nebraska Diaper Bank, and Forward. Drop off your donations at Schwiezo Construction, 93.7 The Ticket, Pine Lake Self-Storage, or White Elm Brewery. Together, we care for our community. For more information, please visit Schwiezo Construction's website or Facebook page today. Husker fans watch women's basketball, so we can't wait to see you in the stands at Pinnacle Bank Arena this season. Single game tickets start at just $12, making it easier than ever to watch the Huskers from the best seat in the house. Don't miss your chance to witness the energy, the hustle, and the heart of this team live in PBA. Huskers watch women's basketball, so get your tickets now at huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Make plans to be at the Icebox on Saturday, December 13th for Teddy Bear Toss Night as the Stars host the Dubuque Fighting Saints. Bring a teddy bear or stuffed animal from home or purchase one at the game. When the Stars score their first goal of the game, it's time to throw the bears and stuffed animals onto the ice, with all being donated to the Community Action Partnership of Lancaster and Saunders counties to help local children in need during the holidays. That's the Teddy Bear Toss on Saturday, December 13th with the Lincoln Stars.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Be a beacon with Lighthouse on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back.
Happy Wednesday.
Last final segment here. This is the shortest one, so we're going to get down and dirty because Drew's got always these quick fire ones at this last part.
I just got some questions in here. Now, I kind of did want to get into you and Bill's relationship a little bit because it is unique and it is funny because you guys are sitting next to me and you're both bald. But do you guys remember when you guys remember when you guys first met?
That was back at Claire McPhee Elementary School.
Yep. And it's not that we really knew each other then. I had moved into Lincoln 2 weeks before getting done with the 6th grade. So I didn't make many friends. Actually, 2 friends I made were both Native American and they were the biggest kids in the school. And so I felt comfortable because here I am from little David City, Nebraska. So I was scared to come to Lincoln. And they took care of me. And but it wasn't until Goodrich that we really
Goodrich and then Lincoln High.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Me and my dad lived by McPhee for like 10 years. I loved that.
Yeah.
That little area. Played a lot of baseball in that parking lot. Now another big question. What are you kind of most hopeful for about right now with Lincoln? There's a lot of positivity going on right now, a lot of great things. What's something that's kind of giving you a lot of hope about Lincoln besides the football team and basketball team right now?
Well,
and volleyball.
The volleyball team is, it's exciting. And also the basketball team. No, there's been a lot of neat projects going on around here. A lot of nonprofits, outside of Lighthouse, that have been, making a lot of inroads, and I like that. So the community, this community really supports the community, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
And I don't think you see that in a lot of places with 300,000 people, but Lincoln's unique. And I like that uniqueness.
There was a day a few weeks ago, I was at Parker's Smokehouse over there on like 84th and O, and we were talking. I walked in and I was meeting somebody there, and the general manager was like, "Hey, come sit with me for a little bit." Like, never met him before, and we just talked about Lincoln and nonprofits and Malone and Lighthouse and just everything. And like, I had never met this guy, and he was just so excited. That's exactly what you just said. Like, people love this community.
They do. They support this community. There's people that are very giving, and we have
it's a great community.
It is a great community.
It really is.
And people love to talk about who they know in a good way. Like, oh, you know Jay Pitts? Oh, I know. And they brag about it, and it's always really cool.
We are a small town in a small city's body.
Yeah.
We really are.
Yeah.
I love
and I got to give a shout out to my county friends too. So, way down there in Firth, way up there north in Raymond and Val. So yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Now, you're born, raised Lincoln. You're a Lincolnite. Dad's got foundation here. What's like a message you kind of want to leave to other Lincolnites coming in, other kids who are maybe at a similar spot that you were at some point, like just kind of listening? What's a good message for them?
I guess my message would be to, it's cliche, but just never give up. It really is. You have to keep on pushing. Things are going to get tough. Things are going to get rough, lean on people that support you. Cause they're there to help you. Don't act like you can, you have to go it alone. There's always someone, and to me too, there's old teachers that I know, old coaches that I still talk to. They were impactful for me in my life, my mom and my dad, and my sisters and all that stuff, but you can do it. You really can. I know that's that Bobby Boucher thing or whatever. You can do it, but you can do it. You can do it.
I would say on top of that, though, is have the courage to ask, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the problem.
That is. Yeah. Yep.
So that's exactly where I was going to go with, because asking for help is something that we like preach hard at Lighthouse. Like, you can't get help if you don't actually ask for it. Is there a way that, I don't know, you've seen kids, I guess, adjust to asking for help in your work with Lighthouse? People don't want to ask, but then like when they finally make that like, okay, I'm going to actually ask for help now. Have you seen that light bulb hit? And
of course, because they're taught, as we were growing up too, when you live in poverty, you're taught to leave your skeletons in the closet. You don't talk about it. You don't go ask for help, because then people are going to want to know more. So it's giving them an understanding that I don't need to go too deep. And I'm giving you advice to actually just ask for help, because nothing can change unless you ask, and I can't read your mind. And so they'll take little steps towards it and kind of hint around about stuff because it's so uncomfortable. And that's what it's up to us to recognize, that they're hanging out because it's more that they need for us to ask questions, because then it becomes easier for them and easier.
Between the lines of
Yeah.
what they're saying.
Yeah. Because they'll position themselves, and it's like, why is this kid hanging around a little more than normal? And because they want to ask but don't know how to start it. So then it's us recognizing it.
And I would say that's where I say, if I'm talking to somebody, look, I'm not going to judge you. Yeah. That's the big thing for me is, I don't want to judge you. I'm not going to judge you. But I let people know that, because I want you to, if you need help, you got to open up.
That's right.
I'm not going to judge you. So.
And just anybody out there listening, asking for help is the hardest thing in the world to do. But once you ask for it, all that relief just comes right off your shoulders, and it feels a lot better.
That's right. And surround yourself with good people, because you surround yourself with good people, good things are going to happen.
That is mega.
Yeah.
One last thing to say for the kids out there listening to, if they are asking for help, is what adults do, what kids do, what you all should do. We adults ask for help all the time. And if your parents are listening, asking your kids for help is a good thing too, because they're going to see you asking for help and they're going to know something.
And always be a beacon for somebody.
Be who you needed.